So this is a question I get asked a lot, and this really has to do with when you are assessed an extra amount for your Part B or your Part D, which is called IRMAA. So that's the income related monthly adjustment amount. So what Social Security and Medicare do is they look back 2 years at your income to determine how much you need to pay. If you're over a certain threshold in income, you have to pay extra for original Medicare Part B and also Part D prescriptions. So if you get a notice that that's what you have to do and your income is dropping, you want to fill this form out, the SSA-44. So what would cause this? If you retire, oftentimes people, make their most money in their last few years of working. Could have even sold a business or anything that's going to put you in a higher tax bracket, higher taxable adjusted gross income. And then the IRS looks back at that and says, oh, you make all this money, we're going to have to assess you more. Meanwhile, you're retiring, going on Social Security and probably some of your savings, so you're going to be making far less. So as long as your income is being brought under those thresholds, and you can always look up what the IRMAA thresholds are for income to see that you're under it. But if you say, hey, they're saying I'm over it, but I'm going to be under it for this next year or going forward, this is the form you want to fill out. So you need to have one of the events, they call it life-changing events. I'm just going to kind of fast forward to that here. One of these life-changing events, the main one is going to be the work stoppage or reduction. You or your spouse stop working or reduce the hours you work. So you're going to need something that proves that, whether there's a letter from your employer that says you're retired, you have any kind of retirement paperwork, and then you're going to want something showing your new income. So if it's just Social Security, if you're taking withdrawals from a retirement account, you're going to want to show that, all right, what you're taking currently. And this is what you're going to use for the life changing event. There's other ones too. Okay, there could be a marriage, a divorce, things that kind of changed what your income is for it. So there's a whole bunch of instructions on how to fill out the form at the end of it, but I just figured I'd go over it quick. So name, social security number, easy. All right. Now, modified adjusted gross income. If you're confused as to what your modified adjusted gross income is, I would contact your tax professional just to verify that this is what you would fit into. All right. And these are the adjustments. So this is what's added on to your Part B, and this is what's added on to your Part D premium. If that happens, that's the adjustment that you would get. All right. And these are the income thresholds. So you're going to click the life-changing event. Again, if it was a work stoppage, work reduction, work stoppage would be retirement. All right, if you click that, and then you would click the date you retired. All right, you just punch that in. All right. And then reductions in income that have already occurred. If it was for this year, this is 2026, you would type in 2026. What you anticipate that your adjusted gross income is going to be if you already retired and you're already taking Social Security or have already filed for Social Security and already know what you're going to be withdrawing from your retirement accounts. That is the income that you would put in here. It's typically going to be your gross income. There are some deductions. You can check with your tax professional what those are, but it's pretty much just going to be the total amount you take. What your tax filing status is going to be, any other anticipated reductions to your modified adjusted gross income. So this would be, obviously, if it's already happened. Up here, this would be if you anticipate that it's going to happen. So if you're already retired, you're going to put it in step two. If you have not, you're going to go on to step three instead. Documentation. Again, you're going to want to have information from your employer that you have retired. You're going to want to have, maybe a Social Security statement that shows what you're drawing in Social Security, and that's really going to show, what your life-changing event is to prove it to Social Security that you have indeed retired. And then the last is going to be your signature, mailing address, all that. And that's all you have to fill out. The rest, again, of the form is showing you how to fill it out. Now, what do you do with it once it's already filled out? So you would want to go essentially to this page here. This shows you how to upload it. So you're going to upload this request online. That's the easiest way. You could also call and set an appointment to the 800 number here. If you need to communicate some things over the phone, you might have you fax it in, or they can get it in another way, or even set up an in-person appointment if it's that complex with your local Social Security office. But the quickest, easiest way is going to be to upload it into the system. You're just going to sign into your Social Security account when you go in, usually with login.gov, and then you're going to upload those documents. Social Security is going to review them, and then they're going to determine an answer and then give you that answer. But you don't have to pay that higher amount. So again, if you are getting a letter saying you have to pay this IRMAA, which is an income adjustment on your Medicare because you make too much money, but you don't make that much money anymore, you do not have to pay that extra amount as long as your income has been reduced. All you have to do is fill this form out, submit it to Social Security, and they'll adjust it on your behalf.